Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Online Market Spot by Crafters and Creatives. I'm Bev Hall from Willowbank Crafts, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. We're going to have some fun painting a flamingo with some tropical flowers. I'm just going to move you to a different position so that you can see the project that we're going to be working on. So you may want to close your eyes. Here we are. And I'm just going to check with my computer to make sure that everything is working and that you can see me. I'd appreciate it if you would put a comment in the comment section so I can see where everyone's coming from. There we are. Yes, we're there. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Colleen. How are you today? So I'm going to get started right away because 30 minutes is not a lot of time, and I always do this to myself. Hi, Mickey. I always create something that is going to end up taking me more time than I have. So I started off this with a 5 by 5 inch square that I purchased from Michael's, and I base coated it with Bahama Blue that was mixed with sealer half and half. I sanded it lightly and then wiped off any dust, and I transferred the pattern onto the surface with carbon paper. I hope you're still with me there. Seems like they're waiting for a signal. Okay, we're just going to continue. All right, so here's the surface. I base coated it with Bahama Blue, and I've transferred the pattern onto it. And because of the time frame that we're looking at, I've base coated some of the colors so that we can hopefully get the entire design completed in the 30 minutes. Now, if I'm not successful in doing that, don't worry. I'm going to offer this as a free pattern for those people who leave me a message on my Facebook page. So if you would like this, you just have to go to willowbankcrafts.queensville, and then you can have this pattern with photos and instructions. So let's look at what we've base coated so far. So the flamingo himself is done with baby pink. And the hibiscus flower over here is done with peaches and cream. This one has been base coated with watermelon slice. This one is sunny day. The eyes and part of the beak have been done with snow white. This part of the beak has been done with melon. The bottom part of the beak has been done with graphite. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to start off by shading the body. So I'm just going to, there seems to be an echo here. I hope there's no echo at where you are. So I'm just picking up one of the new colors for 2024. This is Fuchsia Pop. And I'm just going to run a float. Along that side of the head. While that's drying, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to float some color underneath this hibiscus. Hi, Lori. Aw, thank you. Hi, Bev. Hi, Rochelle. Oh, you people from Florida, you probably see flamingos all the time. We very seldom see them here in Ontario, but I would really like a chance to see them, which means a trip down to Florida would be in order. For those of you that are just joining and missed, I mentioned that this is going to be a free pattern for those that message me on my Facebook page. And if for some reason you can't get through to me there, you can always go to my website, which is willowbankcrafts.com. I'm going to take some black on a 3/8 inch shader, and I'm going to shade the graphite beak. And we'll let that dry. I'm going to take some of the watermelon slice, and we're going to shade the melon. I've got some sky gray, or gray sky. I always want to call it sky gray. Gray sky. And I'm going to shade the eyes and then this part of the beak. Hi Hairline. Hi Cheryl Bentley. I hope you're feeling well today. I hear there's some stormy weather down where you are, Lori. I hope it's not too bad. I'm putting the pattern back on. I'm going to transfer the two eyes. And then using that black, we'll put in the pupils. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'm taking some foliage green. And I'm just going to roughly base in the leaves. And to do that, I'm going from the tip of the brush to the toe of the brush. And there's a little bit of a leaf under this hibiscus, and one here. They don't have to be perfect. Says the person who loves detail. Lori, you're probably laughing as you hear me say that. Oh, the website is willowbankcrafts.com, and the Facebook page is willowbankcrafts.queensville. I'm now going to take some Mystic Teal. This is another new color. I didn't know what I was going to use this for because it's a very rich color, but I have found that it makes some really nice palm leaves. So we'll put those in. I like the contrast of the color. So I just do the center vein first, and then just pull some lines off to the side. I'm using my favorite brush, which is the 20-aught script liner. This is great for detail work, for hair, for fur, for beards. Okay. And to finish off the foliage, I'm taking Paradise Green. I believe this is another new color. And I'm just going to float a little bit of it down one side of these It could be that this is a new, because it's a new bottle, it's a little bit transparent. Maybe the oil hasn't mixed properly with it. I'm going to try again. I think it's a very, very transparent color, so this may need more than one coat. Okay. Okay, now we're going to work on the hibiscus flowers, and they're all pretty much done the same way. I'm going to start with the orange one. So it was base coated in peaches and cream, and now I'm taking some spiced pumpkin. And I'm just going to float along some of the sides to create the appearance of depth. Now we'll let that dry, and we're going to jump over to the yellow flower. I'm going to use Sunset Gold. Love that. Love this color. Hi, Bonnie from Oklahoma. Nice of you to drop by. So the same thing now. Floating along the edges to make some of them pop forward and some of them come back. And I tend to put more of the color in the center of the hibiscus, where the stamen is going to come out. Then I'm taking dioxazine purple, and I'm going to use that on the red hibiscus. And then with that really fine 20-aught liner, I'm just going to pull a couple of lines from the center, following the shape of the petal from the middle to the outside edge. And then for this orange one, I'm going to use the watermelon slice and deepen the center with a few little lines. And then I'm not going to put the stamen in yet, because the first thing that has to happen here is the highlighting. And so with some of the Snow White, I'm just going to float and it just helps to bring the petal forward. And then the same thing with diluted dioxazine purple. I'm going to pull some little lines from the center, following the shape of the petal towards the outside. You can put as few or as many as you want. And then I'm concentrating the purple more in the center. I'm going to let that dry, pick up some of that beautiful sunset gold. Oh, we have too many paints on our work area, and there's just not a lot of room. I think my painting table is shrinking. We're going to grab some more white. I don't want to forget to mention that I hope you will join me this evening at 6:45 Pacific time, where I will have some spring and summer finished products, as well as I will have a pattern and a kit and a class. So I hope that you'll join me, 6:45 Central Time. have this white on my palette, I'm just going to get a small little amount, and I'm going to put a couple of comma strokes in the eyes. So to finish off the hibiscus, I need to put in the stamen and the pollen. So I'm just using my script liner. I'm using the watermelon slice in the orange hibiscus, and I'm going to pull a stroke. Then with my stylus, I'm just going to add little dots. Then with the red hibiscus, use the sunny day. Pull a curved line from the center. Grab your stylus again. And add some dots, going up to the top of the stroke. And then for the yellow one, I'm actually going to use burnt orange. We're almost out of time. I may have to finish this off camera and post it on my Facebook page so that you can see it. I did put a couple of flowers down here. They're the kind of flowers that they use to make the lathes in Hawaii. And once they're dry, I'll put yellow in the center. And then using the baby pink, I put a couple of dots to look like little buds. And then the last thing that I think I'll do is add some of this burnt orange on this hibiscus as well. So my time is up. I thank you so much for joining me. I'll finish putting the eyebrows on. I see that I haven't done that. And anything else that I've not finished, I'll add that, and then I'll post it on my Facebook page. I thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a few things. And please visit me tonight at 6:45 Central Daylight Time here on the online market spot, and I'll have some fun things for you to see. Take care. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye for now.